Hello lovelies, I hope you're well. My name's Serena and I'll be taking you through a vinyasa class today. Grab a couple of blocks, have them nearby just in case you might need to grab hold of them. We'll be throwing in a few balancing poses today. And when you're ready, join me at the top of the mat in your mountain pose. So finding your mountain pose, making your way to the top half of your mat. Have the feet a nice distance apart. So bringing them about hip distance apart today. Bring the hands either side of the body. Start to engage the core. So pulling that core back to the belly button back towards the spine. Have a slight tuck of the tailbone. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Have energy through the hands today. We're going to get nice and sweaty. So starting from now, starting to set up some engagement and intention, or good tension, throughout the whole body. Take a moment here, take an inhale. Exhale, sigh out the mouth. Take another inhale through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Really nice. And again, inhale. Sigh it out. Inhaling, exhaling through the nose, but option to keep that sigh sound at the back of the throat as you exhale. So we're switching on that Ujjayi breath. And then jumping in with today's class. Take an inhale, reach those hands up overhead. Gaze reaches up to the thumbs. As you exhale, have a gentle fold over the legs, option to keep them bent. Inhale, lift the chest, find a flat back. As you exhale, step that left foot to the back of the mat, drop the knee down to the floor and tuck the toe. Reach the hands up overhead. We're in our Crescent Lunge. Take an inhale here. Exhale, frame that front foot, tuck the back toe under, lower down through a vinyasa of your choice. So you can lower the knees down if you want to. Take an inhale, pull yourself forward, open the chest in your upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, find a downward facing dog. Take an inhale, bend the knees, look forward. This time, stepping the left foot to the top of the mat, drop the back knee down to the floor and tuck the back toes. Reach the hands up overhead, so we're in our Crescent Lunge on the left. Take an inhale. Exhale, frame that front foot, tuck the back toe under so you can push off of it to meet the left at the top of the mat. Hang over the legs. Inhaling, reach the hands up overhead. Find an Urdhva Hastasana, your gaze is upwards. Exhale, close through heart center. Inhale, reach those hands back up overhead. Exhale, folding over the legs, Uttanasana. Take an inhale, lift the chest, finding your flat back. Remember when you can place the hands on the shins. Exhale, plant the hands on the floor, stepping back with the left leg, drop the back knee down to the floor. Reach the hands up, let's find that Crescent Lunge. Sinking into that front leg, opening up that left quad. Take an inhale. Exhale, frame that front foot, step back to a plank, go through a vinyasa. Again, remembering you can lower the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog, lifting those thighs off the floor if you can. Exhale, roll over, down dog. Take an inhale here, reach the right foot up and back behind you. It doesn't have to be high. Then as you exhale, bring the knee towards the chest so you can place the right foot at the top of the mat. Ground that back foot at a 45-degree angle and then coming up with the torso, finding a warrior one. Thinking about putting the right hip backwards, left hip forwards. Take one more breath here, maybe sink a little deeper into that front leg. And then bring the hands to heart center, shift your weight over that front leg. See where it feels like maybe to come up on the tiptoes of that back foot. Again, really trying to shift most of that weight over that right leg. Hold for one more breath. And then see if you can push off of that back foot to meet the right at the top of the mat. Fold over the legs. Take an inhale, lift the chest flat back. Exhale, folding down, release that right leg to the back of the mat this time, drop the back knee down to the floor. Inhale, reach those hands up overhead. Sink nice and deep into that front leg this time, opening up the right quad and hip flexor. Take an inhale. Exhale, frame that front foot, step back to your plank, go through your vinyasa. Hug those elbows in. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, roll over, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, reach the left foot up and back behind you. Exhale, bring the knee as close to the chest as you can to allow it to gently place in between the hands at the top of the mat. Grounding the right foot down. Bring the arms up, overhead. Finding warrior one on the left. Again, this side, we're pulling left hip backwards, right hip forwards. Take one more breath. See if you can sink a little deeper into that front leg on your exhale. Then shifting the hands to heart center. Start to move that weight over that front leg again. See if you can come on to the ball of that back foot. Taking your weight mainly in that left leg. Hold for one more. Gently see if you can push off the right leg to meet the left at the top of the mat. Exhale, fold over. Take an inhale, reach the hands up all the way overhead. Exhaling, close through heart center. You should feel more warm in the body, so let's keep going. Take an inhale, reach those hands up overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back, doing a normal sun A now. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your plank, lower down through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over, down dog. Take an inhale, reach the right foot up and back behind you again. Exhale, bring that knee through the chest, place the foot at the top of the mat. Let's find our warrior one. Again, think about pulling that right hip backwards, relax the shoulders. Sink a little bit deeper into that front leg. One more breath. Bring those hands to heart center. Again, shift your weight forward. This time, remember that feeling you had of holding the weight in this front leg. See if you can gently start to pick off that back foot from the mat. Hold in your warrior three. Imagine someone's pulling you through the crown of the head and that back foot. Hold for two. And one, really nice. Then releasing the hands to the floor or place blocks either side of the hands, of the foot, apologies, so you can rest the hands on the blocks and lifting that leg up towards the ceiling. So the left leg is reaching up. You have the option to see if you can bring that right hand back towards the right ankle. Maybe challenge your balance even more. See if that left hand can come back and join it. Keep squeezing that left glute. It doesn't have to be really high. Just make sure you're still working that leg. Last breath. Release the hands if you had hold of the ankle, and then slowly start to bring the right fingertips gently in, slightly in front of that right leg. Gently starting to open the left side of the body. Maybe the left fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Maybe you stack left hip on top of right. Option to place the left hand onto the hip. One more breath. Start to close down that left side of the body. Hands come back to heart center. Feel that burn in the right leg. Gently start to bend into that right leg so you can pop the left leg to the back of the mat. Find a warrior one. Take an inhale. Exhale, open up to a nice deep warrior two. Sink into that front leg. Shuffle the legs or the position of the feet around to find that nice stance for your warrior two. Gaze comes over that front hand. Take an inhale. A nice big exhale. Then flip that front palm. Rest the forearm on the thigh. Reach the left hand up and over into our side angle pose. But making sure you're starting to engage in your core now, because we're going to be a bit more active here. See if you can pick this right hand off of the leg, extend it out. Imagine you're holding a big ball. Then straighten up that front leg. Hold for three. For two. Use that core. And one. Bend back into that front leg. Frame the front foot. Step back to your plank. Go through a vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing. Exhale, roll over, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, lift that left foot up. We're going to go do all that on the left side. Exhale, bring it in between the hands. Ground that right foot down, bring the arms up, find your warrior one. Again, take a moment here to set up the hips. Maybe pulling left hip backwards. Still reaching through the fingertips, so try not to stop at the wrists. Last breath. Then bring the hands to heart center. Start to shift the weight over that front leg. Again, take this time to prepare. Remember what it felt like to have that weight there. Gently see if you can pick that back foot off the floor to find a warrior three. Again, extending through the crown of the head and that back foot. Hold for 3. For 2. And 1. And when you're ready, release the hands down towards the floor. Remembering, grab hold of the blocks if you need to pop that underneath your hands. If you've done so on the other side, have a play around with your balance. Feel free to wobble around. I always encourage wobbling. Maybe bring that left hand back towards the ankle. Maybe the right hand wants to join it. Hold for 2. And 1. Release the hands if you had hold of the ankle. Bring the left fingertips slightly in front of the left foot, setting yourself up to come into your half moon on the left. Maybe start to peel the chest open so the right hand can release towards the ceiling. Starting to stack the right hip on top of left. Hold for 3. For 2. And 1. Start to close the right side of the body down. Hands come to heart center. Gently bend into that left leg so you can release the right leg to the back of the mat, finding a warrior 3. Warrior 1. On your inhale, really lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, start to twist and open the body open to a nice deep warrior 2. Sinking into that front leg. Imagine you're ripping the mat apart with the feet. Keep pulling belly button back towards the spine. Take an inhale. And exhale. Then flip that front palm, rest the forearm on the thigh. Reach the right hand up and over. Again, set yourself up here. Remember, we're going to be holding with the core rather than dumping our weight down on this left leg. So when you're ready, start to release that left hand out in front of you. Imagine you're holding that ball for 3. Straighten up that front leg for 2. And 1. Bend back into that front leg, framing the front foot. Step back to your plank. Let's lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, roll over, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, reach that right foot up and back behind you again. As you exhale, bring it to the outside edge of the mat this time. So your hands are on the inside of that foot. Drop the back knee down to the floor. Untuck the toes. Find your lizard. Keep hugging that right leg in towards the shoulder. So ideally, you want to try to get them to touch. So we're still nice and engaged as we're sinking and opening the hips here. Option to come down onto the forearms if that's accessible to you. Again, keep hugging that leg in as much as you can. And try releasing the hips and the lower back here. 2 more. Last one. Coming back up on the hands. And then shift your weight back as if you're going to sit on that back leg, keeping that front leg straight. So we're coming into our half hero pose. Have a shuffle around, really find your sit bones. Once you have, take an inhale, reach the hands up overhead. Exhale, fold over that front leg, grab hold of wherever you can. It may be the shin, the ankle, or maybe the feet. Take a forward fold, holding here for 5. Inhale. Exhale. For 4. 3. 2. Last one. Coming back up with the torso, starting to bend that right leg so you can plant the foot on the floor, using the hands if you need to pop your bum off the leg, coming back to that lizard pose. But this time, bringing the left hand down flat onto the floor, reach the right hand up. So you're having this nice twist, you're facing towards that right thigh. 1 more breath here. Then tuck the back toe under, lift the knee off the floor. Let's get nice and active. Really try to take the kink out of that back knee. Hold for 3, 2, 1, release the right hand down, frame the foot, step back to your plank. Go through a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, roll over, downward facing dog. Let's do that left side. Take an inhale, reach the left foot up and back. Exhale, bring it to the outside edge of that left leg. Left hand, drop the knee down towards the floor. Sink into your lizard pose. Bringing the hands onto the inside of that leg. Again, take as much time as you need to set this pose up. Once you have, remembering to hug that knee in towards the arm as much as you can. If you've done so on the other side, feel free to take the option of coming down onto the forearms. Feel free to also use a block. If the floor seems a bit too far to you, but being up isn't doing enough. Holding here for 2 more deep breaths. Sink the hips a little bit deeper. Last one. Coming back up onto the hands. Shifting that weight back, again, as if you're sitting on that right heel. Find the sit bones. Again, take your time to set this up. Take an inhale, reach the hands up overhead. Exhale, fold the body forward, grab hold of wherever you need to grab hold of. Holding here for 5 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. I'm really using these breaths to get deeper, so on your inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold a little deeper. 3 more. Two. Last one. Start to walk those hands back in, coming up with the torso. Starting to bend that left leg so you can pop the sole of the foot on the floor. Shift your weight back over so you can come back to your lizard with the left leg at the top of the mat. Bringing the right hand firmly onto the floor. Release the left hand towards the ceiling. Taking this nice twist again. Keep hugging left leg in towards body. Last breath here. Let's tuck that back toe under, lift the knee off the floor, get nice and active. You're sinking the hips down as well as pushing through that back heel so you can get a nice long line in that back leg. 2 more breaths. Last one. Release the left hand down, frame that left foot, step back, go through a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, roll over, down dog. Take an inhale, bend those knees, look forward, cross the right leg and then the left leg. So you're finding your sit bones. Coming towards the end of the practice now, let's take a boat pose. You have options, starting with just the toes or the tip toes touching the floor, holding the back of the legs. Maybe you just pick them off the floor if you want to. You can bring the shins parallel, or you can release the hands. Hold here for 4, for 3, 2, 1. Maybe if you want to, take your 2-piece fingers, grab hold of that right leg. Otherwise, stay in your boat pose. Release that heel towards the ceiling. Hold for 4. Keep squeezing thigh and chest together for 3, 2, 1. Let's go opposite side. Release that foot. Maybe grab hold of the left toes. Otherwise, you're just holding in your boat pose. Really start to pull belly button back towards the spine. Lift up in the chest as much as you can. 2 more. Last one. Release the feet down. Bring the soles of the feet together. Find a Baddha Konasana. Really start to slow down the breath now if you haven't already. Folding the body forward. Maybe you want to wrap your hands around the toes. Round the spine as much as you can here. And then using our breath, we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine forward. As you exhale, try to keep the lower spine where it is and just fold back down. Again, take an inhale, see if you can pull yourself forward. Maybe the lower spine lowers a tiny bit more. Exhale, fold the head down. 2 more. Inhale, pulling forward. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly coming up with the torso, gently releasing the hips, and then moving to a comfortable seated position. You might want to pop yourself on a block. Once you've found that, really start to calm the breath down now. Option to face the palms downwards if you feel like you need a bit of extra grounding today. Otherwise, flip them the opposite way so your palms are facing up for a little bit more opening. Take a big inhale through the nose. A big sigh out through the mouth. One more. Nice. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you on the mat very soon.